So whenever this particular one comes to the category of this particular function, parent chain la varumbodhu, there is no prefix because they will be the highest most one, suffix ah irukum. So next prefix ah irukadu, suffix ah da irukum, ena they are the highest most one. So they will be having the oic acid in that. Whenever they does not belong to the carbon chain la belong agama illa in and the alkyl group illama alkane group da varudhu nu vechukonga, just alkane group varuduna second carbon nama count பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் second carbon நம்ம choose பண்ணும்போது அங்க ஒரு methyl group இருக்கிறது, that is also called as the isopentane. Iso whatever it is, that alkane, that is okay clear, that is actually between the alkanes and alkyl radical. This is very important children, alkyls and alkyl radical. Okay, hello my guys, வணக்கம்டா பசங்களா, எப்படி இருக்கீங்க எல்லாரும்? All good? So welcome back to Vedantu NEET Vettri channel. நான் உங்களோட master teacher Anakha. So இன்னைக்கு நம்ம வந்து one shot seriesல வந்து we have started with organic compounds and we done with the isomerism also, right? So one shot series almost to the end வேணா சொல்லலாம். ஏன்னா organic chemistry ஓட எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு we have done with electrochemistry, atomic structure, almost all the chapters. So we just want to do the organic மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு one shot seriesல. அதே மாதிரி one shot series முடிக்கிற டைம்ல வந்து நான் வந்து marathon ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். Please do watch all the marathons because one shotல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து I won't be explaining all the questions and all. ஆனா marathon வந்து precise-ஆ கரெக்டா உங்களுக்கு எதெல்லாம் தேவையோ எதெல்லாம் questions கேட்பாங்களோ previous year question test பண்ணி தான் நாங்க வந்து marathon எடுத்துருக்கோம். So please do watch the marathon also and one shot series also. one shot series வந்து எப்போ பார்க்கணும், உங்களுக்கு வந்து திடீர்னு ஒரு எக்ஸாம் வருது, உங்களுக்கு வந்து 6 மணி நேரம் 7 மணி நேரம் marathon பார்க்க முடியலைன்னா நீங்க one shot series பார்க்கணும். ஆனா இல்ல உங்களுக்கு டைம் இருக்கு, you have to go in depth into the chapter means you have to watch the marathon also. So இன்னைக்கு நாம எந்த சாப்டர் எடுக்க போறோம்னா IUPAC Nomenclature பத்தி தான் நாம பேச போறோம். நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து இந்த IUPAC Nomenclature சொன்னேன்னா it's an easy chapter. நமக்கு வந்து 1 2 3 4 சொல்லிட்டு பேர் எழுதி வந்து அந்த நம்பர் கவுண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு பண்ற மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். ஈஸி சாப்டர் தான் நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து. ஆனா என்ன ஆகுறேன்னா நிறைய சில்லி மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் பண்ற ஒரு சாப்டர் கூட. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து இங்கேயும் வந்து சின்னதா ஒரு பேஸ்ல இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி we are going to the upper level. Okay, shall we start our session children? Come on. Okay, now first of all starting with the characteristics of the carbon. கார்பனோட characteristics என்னலாம் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஐடியா இருக்கா? ஏதாவது characteristics கார்பனுக்கெல்லாம் என்னலாம் characteristics இருக்குடா? Do you know what is electronic configuration of the carbon? Electronic configuration of the carbon at the normal state. Okay, at the normal state they will be having the electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. They will be having the electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2 when they are in their excited state, first excited state la அப்படி அப்ப ஆகும்போது என்ன ஆயிடும், they will be having 2 electrons here and they will be having 2 electrons in the p block. p subshell. இதுல இருந்து ஒரு எலக்ட்ரான் எங்க ஆயிடும், இங்க கொடுத்துரும், which means they will be having how many electrons my dear students? They will be having ma'am 4 vacant orbital, 4 half filled orbital ma'am. So they are having or they have the ability to build, so they do have the characteristics of this panna mudiyum matingudhu guys. Okay, so the carbon is having the 4 valency will be there, their 4 valency will be filled with some other atoms, right? So that is the first property. And since they are having a 4 valency, you know the shape of the carbon. What will be the shape of the carbon my dear students? Do you have any idea? Carbon, there will be a single bond here, there will be a single bond here and they all have the single bond. So this is the wedge and this is the wedge and this is the particular dash formula of the carbon. One second children, I will just this is the wedge and you can draw it much more better. One second, since I'm showing in the shape of tetrahedral I will draw it like that itself. Okay, this is your, see children, this is your wedge and this is your dash and this is your wedge formula. One second, ஒரு நிமிஷம் guys. Okay, now they do have the structure of what, do you know they don't know the shape or something about the geometry, tetrahedral geometry. And you know this is the first property, the carbon will be having the alternate, the carbon will be having this particular 4 valency or 4 valency will be the, that is a tetrahedral geometry. Now next property of the carbon is that they form the multiple bond. What is the next property my dear students? They forms multiple bond. multiple bond சொல்றது. See, you know that carbon carbon single bond is possible, carbon carbon double bond is possible, carbon carbon triple bond is also possible. They do have the property with the carbon also, some other atoms also. See, carbon carbon multiple bond இல்லை carbon carbon triple bond இல்லை single bond எல்லாம் சொல்றது. They do have the linkage, that is catenation. Catenation property is also there for the carbon. So these are the properties of the, these are the properties. This is the first property, that is the second property, and third property, that is catenation. Self-linking capacity, we can say that. Self-linking ability of the carbon. Self-linking ability of the carbon. So these are the properties or characteristics of the carbon. Now, types of carbon and hydrogen. You know that different types of carbon. Ma'am, what is this, exactly this different types of carbon and hydrogen? Listen carefully, everyone. There is there is something called as primary carbon. Do you know what is primary carbon? The carbon which is attached to the another carbon. So there is only the carbon attached to the only one carbon, or else we can say that the one of the valency of the carbon oda oru valency mattum innoru carbon oda join pannirukanga. For example, I am giving you CH3. This particular two carbons are, this particular carbon is your primary carbon, this particular carbon is your primary carbon. நீங்க இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், see கார்பனுக்கு ஹைட்ரஜன் ஒரு வேலன்சி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, இந்த ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் ஒரு வேலன்சி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, இங்க ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் வேலன்சி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, which means மூணு ஹைட்ரஜன் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. இன்னொரு கார்பன் கூட தான் நெக்ஸ்ட் வேலன்சி வந்திருக்கு. So this carbon is basically what happens, this is primary carbon. இது என்னதா இருக்கும், primary carbon-ஆ இருக்கும். புரியுதா பசங்களா? ஆனா மிடில் போர்ஷன் இருக்கிறது primary carbon இல்ல, அது என்ன கார்பன் நான் சொல்லி கொடுக்கிறேன். புரியுதா? So this is what is called as the primary carbon. Carbon it is attached to the only one carbon, only one carbon. And do you know what is primary hydrogen here? What do you mean by primary hydrogen? Primary hydrogen is the hydrogen which is hydrogen attached to the hydrogen which is attached to the primary carbon. Primary carbonக்கு எவ்வளவு ஹைட்ரஜன் அட்டாச் பண்ணிருக்காங்களோ அந்த ஹைட்ரஜனை தான் என்ன சொல்றது, primary hydrogen சொல்றது. For example, here if you see that, you can see that here இங்க வந்து ஒரு primary hydrogen carbon இருக்குடா. இந்த primary carbonக்கு சேர்த்து எவ்வளவு, there are three hydrogen, right? Three primary hydrogens are there. Am I right? There are three in the carbon, carbonக்கு attach பண்ணிருக்கிற hydrogen தான். For example, you have the carbon here, my dear students. These are the carbon and this is another, என்னடா நான் எழுதிட்டு இருக்கேன், this is another carbon and this is hydrogen. Okay, this all hydrogen is called as the primary hydrogen. This is primary hydrogen, this is primary hydrogen, this is also primary hydrogen. Together three primary hydrogens are there. Clear everyone? Together three primary hydrogens are there. So the hydrogen which is attached to the primary carbon is called as the primary hydrogen. Now you have the same way, you have your secondary carbon also. What will be the denotation for the secondary carbon, my dear students? Tell me. Secondary carbon will be the carbon which is attached to the எதா இருக்கும் guys, carbon attached to the two carbons. ரெண்டு கார்பனோட அட்டாச் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. For example, you have the same thing example. Say இங்க 2 தான் வரும் பசங்களா, இங்க 3 வராது, இங்க 2 தான் வரும். You have your formula like this. Okay, so you got to know that, ma'am, this is primary carbon, ma'am. This is also primary carbon, ma'am, because one of the valencies attached to the another carbon. In the carbon பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் this is secondary carbon, because this carbon, in the carbon and hydrogen and பசங்களா CH2, இன்னொரு carbon join பண்ணிருக்காங்க, which means the carbon is attached to the two other carbon which is actually called as the secondary carbon. Now what will be the hydrogen, secondary hydrogen, we can say that hydrogen which is attached to the hydrogen attached to the secondary carbon. Secondary carbon க்கு attach ஆயிருக்கிற hydrogen தான் என்ன சொல்றது? Secondary hydrogen சொல்றது. Clear everyone? Clear? So primary carbon, secondary carbon. Now you got your tertiary carbon. Before that, 1 second. This is your primary carbon. This is your secondary carbon. I just want to write this here itself, but it's not possible, it seems. Okay. பண்ண முடிய மாட்டேங்குது guys. I just want to be pro in this particular one. இது என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னு தெரியல. சரி, நமக்கு வந்து secondary tertiary carbon. Tertiary carbon will be the carbon attached to the carbon attached to the 3 carbon. Valency of the carbon is valency of the carbon is filled by the another 3 carbon. That is simply we can say that. For example, you have your example for this like CH3. This particular, see, in this example, we can say that this is your primary carbon, right? This is your secondary carbon. Because why this is a secondary carbon? Because 2 carbons are joining here. This is your secondary carbon. This is also your primary carbon. Here also your primary carbon. இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a tertiary carbon. Clear? Carbon which is attached to the another 3 carbon. That is your tertiary carbon. Are you getting my point, children? And the tertiary carbon கிட்ட எத்தனை hydrogen இருக்கோ அதுதான் tertiary hydrogen சொல்றது. So this is all about the tertiary carbon also. Next one is quaternary carbon. Quaternary carbon, we can say that carbon attached to the 4 carbon. All the valency will be filled by the 4 carbon. All the valency of the carbon, 1 carbon is filled by another 4 carbon. For example, I will write your example here. C So here you can see that this is your primary carbon. This is your secondary carbon. இது வந்து உங்களோட secondary carbon இருக்கும். இது வந்து உங்களோட again primary carbon இருக்கும். இது வந்து மறுபடியும் primary carbon இருக்கும். This is again your primary carbon. This is your quaternary carbon because 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no hydrogen present here. So this is your quaternary carbon. So this is all about the particular types of carbon and hydrogen. So whichever is the carbon which is attached to the only 1 carbon means, see, 4 valencyல ஒரு valencyல மட்டும் carbon இருந்தானா அது primary carbon. அந்த particular இருக்கிற carbon இல்ல next to the carbon. Okay. அதுல வந்து 2 carbon வந்துச்சுனா secondary carbon. 3 carbon வந்துச்சு tertiary carbon. 4 carbon வந்துச்சுனா quaternary carbon. Same with the hydrogen also. And there is no quaternary hydrogen because 4 carbonோட valency carbonோட 4மே carbon வச்சு valency யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டேனா there is no other hydrogen, right? So this is all about the particular carbon. Now types of alcohols. See, நான் வந்து இதுல வந்து உங்களுக்கு பேசிக்கான விஷயங்கள் தான் சொல்லி கொடுக்க போறோம். Okay. So alcohol இந்த மாதிரி இப்போ primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary சொன்ன மாதிரி alcoholsலயும் there are primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols are there. When the OH group is attached to the primary carbon, இருக்கிற OH group வந்து when they attach the primary carbon, ஒரு primary carbonக்கு attach ஆகுறேனா அந்த particular alcohol தான் என்னது சொல்றது? They are called as the primary alcohol. For example, you have your CH3, CH, you have your CH3, CH2, OH. This is actually your primary carbon, right? This is actually your primary carbon, and the OH which is attached to this primary carbon is called as the primary alcohol. அங்க வந்து primary alcohol என்ன இருக்கும்? primary carbonக்கு சேர்ந்துட்டு இருக்கிற alcohol தான் என்ன சொல்றது? primary alcohol சொல்றது. Next one is secondary alcohol is the OH which is attached to this secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol க்கு attach ஆயிருக்கிற OH தான் secondary alcohol சொல்றது. For example, you have your example CH3 CH3. This is going to be a secondary carbon because see here this is your primary carbon. இது உங்களோட primary carbon இருக்கும். ஆமாதானே, இது உங்களோட primary carbon இருக்கும். ஆனா இதை வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா this is going to be a secondary carbon. This is going to be a secondary carbon. CH3 CH3. So this is going to be a secondary carbon. Secondary carbonக்கு attach ஆயிருக்கிற OH group இருந்தாதான் அதை வந்து என்னதான் சொல்றது? secondary carbon சொல்றது. புரியுதா guys? புரியுதா guys? Okay. Next one is going to be a tertiary carbon. This is actually like OH which is attached to the tertiary carbon. Same thing. A secondary carbon, tertiary carbon சொல்றது என்னதா இருக்கும்? The OH which is attached to tertiary. For example, CH3 is the C. This carbon is your tertiary. This hydroxide, which means this alcohol is your tertiary alcohol because 1, 2, 3. This is the tertiary carbon. So அதிலேக்கு join பண்ற alcohol தான் என்ன சொல்றது? tertiary alcohol சொல்றது. Clear everyone? So primary alcohol is something which is the OH which is attached to the primary carbon. If the OH is attached to the secondary carbon, it is called a secondary alcohol. If the OH is attached to a tertiary carbon, this is called as the tertiary alcohol. I hope this is clear for you guys. Now, types of amine. Do you know? There are different types of amines also. Primary amine is the, secondary amines is the, tertiary amine is the. So primary amine, so you know the primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine. Primary amine is if there is one of the valency of the nitrogen or nitrogen is attached to only one carbon. If nitrogen is attached to the one carbon ஒரு கார்பனுக்கு மட்டும் attach பண்ணிருக்காங்க. For example, you have your example like CH3NH2. CH3NH2, you have the lone pair here. CH3NH2. இங்க என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு? CH3NH2 means the carbon here, the nitrogen is actually attached to only one of the carbon, right? This is actually your primary carbon. This is the smallest carbon and this is actually your primary carbon. And you have another example like your aniline. Here also the nitrogen is attached to only one carbon. So that is also an example for the primary carbon. அது இல்லாம இன்னொரு ஐடியா இருக்கு. NH2ல ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் ரெண்டு ஹைட்ரஜன் இருந்தானா primary, ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் இருந்தானா secondary, ஹைட்ரஜனே இல்லாம இருந்தானா tertiary, ஹைட்ரஜனுக்கு மேல ஒரு positive charge வந்தானா quaternary. மேம் என்ன மேம் சொல்றீங்க? சொல்றேன் ஒரு நிமிஷம். So if nitrogen is attached to the primary secondary carbon, if nitrogen is attached to the two carbon. For example, you have your example like this. CH3NH CH3. This is going to be a secondary carbon. Or else we can also say your one of the group of the hydrogen now in aniline. This is one methyl group is attached. This is going to be your what children? This is going to be your secondary amine. This is secondary amine, children. You have to get an idea about it, okay? Secondary amine. Clear everyone? Clear? Next one is your tertiary amine. Tertiary amine means you can say it if the nitrogen is attached to the 3 carbon. 3 கார்பனா வந்து நைட்ரஜன் அட்டாச் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. there is a 3 carbon attachment for the nitrogen. அப்படியா இருக்கும்போது எப்படி வரும்? you will be having, see, nitrogen will be there and one bond will be with CH3, this will be with CH3, this will be with CH3. This is actually your tertiary carbon. There is no nitrogen, there is absence of nitrogen. That is actually your tertiary carbon. And you can also give the examples like nitrogen, that aniline, in the aniline the both of the nitrogen is replaced. This is also an example for the tertiary carbon. Now, then you have your quaternary carbon, children. Here I didn't write about the quaternary carbon. That's what I also wondering. Quaternary carbon. Do you know what is a quaternary carbon? All the valencies are filled. So if there is all the valencies, there is no lone pair, means they will be having a positive charge in them, right? Am I right, students? They will be having a, see, if there is all the valencies of the nitrogen is filled, means there will be having a positive charge in them, and they will be having 4 carbon also. 4 carbon will be there. For example, you have your nitrogen here, and you have the CH3 here, CH3 here, and CH3 here, CH3 here, and as a result of this there is a positive charge because they lose the lone pair, so there is a positive charge also. So that is also based on the, when there is 4 carbon is present, when the nitrogen is attached to the 4 carbon. 4 carbon attached ஆகும்போது என்ன, nitrogen with 4 valency or 4 bonds, they will be having a lone pairs in that, right? Nitrogen with 4 bonds will be having a lone pair because of the lone pair, sorry, they will be having a positive charge, not lone pair, children. Nitrogen with the 4 bonds will be having a positive charge because of the lone pair is taken, correct? So lone pair எடுத்ததுனால positive charge இருக்கும். I hope you have got this point also. Okay, next one is classification of the compounds. இப்போ தான் நம்ம வந்து பேசிக்கான விஷயத்துக்கு போகிறோம். IUPAC nomenclature எப்படி classification பண்றாங்க. So there is based on the structure is there is say something based on the group, and there is something which is based on the homologous series. Homologous series we are not going to look in that depth here because we have taken already that in the marathon also. So you just please refer that marathon, okay? So but here we will be looking into the particular based on the structure we will be checking, and based on the group also we will be checking. So based on the structure we can say that, so this is your all particular classification on based on the structure, okay? Now next one is your based on this particular one second based on the group. So you know that carbon is having the 4 valency with the hydrogen. I mean they will be having அவங்களுக்கு வந்து 4 valency இருக்கும், ஆமா தானே? இந்த 4 valencyல வந்து எல்லாமே ஹைட்ரஜனா இருக்காம, see 3 ஹைட்ரஜனா இருக்கும், ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜனை ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணி வேற ஏதாவது குரூப் வரும்போது தான் அது based on the group ஆன classification ஆகுது. For example, see you have your one carbon compound here, CH3, CH4 or something it is, okay? You have the carbon compound here, and we are adding the plus G group, whatever it may be, G group is adding. At the same time minus, there is a kind of a substitution reaction. ஒன்று ஆட் பண்ணும்போது ஒன்று மைனஸ் ஆகிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகிடும், we will be getting a compound like where it is ஹைட்ரஜன் இருந்த இடத்துல G வந்துருச்சு. இந்த R சொல்கிறது, இந்த R தனியாக சொல்கிறதா R radical சொல்கிறது. They don't have, if they do not have the hydrogen or something, they are called as hydrocarbon radical சொல்கிறது. இனி G-ஆ இருக்கும்போது, G சொல்கிறது functional group சொல்லும்போது it can be alcohol, amine, aldehyde, acid, anything. OH இருக்கலாம், COH இருக்கலாம், CHO இருக்கலாம், CO இருக்கலாம், COO இருக்கலாம், NH2 இருக்கலாம், anything, okay? So that is something called as the particular classification based on the groups. So you know this particular classification when there is in another carbon, then the valency of the hydrogen is 4 carbon இருக்கும், valency of the hydrogen, children, 4 ஹைட்ரஜனோட வேலன்சியில் கார்பனோட 4 ஹைட்ரஜனில் ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜனுக்கு பதிலாக ஒரு G குரூப் ஆட் பண்ணுறது தான் என்ன சொல்கிறது, இட் இஸ் கால்ட் as the based on the group. நம்ம குரூப்புக்கான கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன் சொல்கிறது. that G can be this hydroxide or amine or alcohol or aldehyde, anything, okay children? Now you have this normal, neo, iso and normal, iso and neo system. So listen carefully children. Normal system means that is like there is no branching. For example, you have your CH3. See, listen carefully. CH3 is there, CH2 is there, CH3 is there. This is your propane, right? இது வந்து உங்களோட ப்ரொப்பைனாக இருக்கும். ஆனால் இதுலேருந்து ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் போயிடுச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், CH3, CH2, CH2, 1. So இங்க ஏதோ bond வருது. So this will be considered as the propyl. Am I right? This will be considered as the propyl. Same thing. See, if there is normal straight chain means that can be called as N-propyne, and this can be called as N-propyl also. For example, N-propyl alcohol. If it is an N-propyl alcohol means instead of the CH2 there is a bond now. இந்த bond கூட என்னதா இருக்கும், ஒரு OH group attach பண்ணிடுவாங்க. அதுதான் N-propyl alcohol சொல்றது. Clear? See, for example, you have another example here. CH3 இருக்கு, CH instead of CH3 CH2 க்கு பாரு OH எடுத்தோம். This is actually N, we can say that it is N-ethyl alcohol, N-propyl alcohol, N-butanol alcohol, so that is something called as the category of the N or normal. So we are just like straight chain, now straight chain we will be considering the same thing. So this is all about the normal system. Okay, now coming back to your iso system, I have put in a video on the iso system, how to look into the tertiary, neo, iso system in the hydrocarbon. That's a very basic one. I have put a video on that. Please do watch the video also if possible. Okay, or else you can watch this also, that is more than enough. So when iso means, my dear students, used when the methyl group is present, only one methyl group is present at the second last carbon. If it is in a case of alkene radical, at the second last carbon, and if it is in the case of alkenes or alkanes, ANE, okay, alkanes, it is the second carbon. So what is this basically? Alkene radical and alkane, and second last carbon and second carbon. See, basically listen carefully. When I tell you the examples, it will be much more easier for you. Listen carefully, my dear students. Inga gavanama irundhukonga. So this is basically your iso system. This will be your iso system. இப்படி தான் இருக்கும் iso system சொல்றது. Okay, so smallest iso system சொல்றது என்னதா இருக்கும்? மூணு கார்பன் இருக்கும். மூணு கார்பன் இருக்கும். அது கூட என்னதா இருக்கும்? இன்னொரு கார்பன் கூட வரணும்ல. ஏன்னா இது வந்து ஆல்கைல் குரூப்ல இருக்கு, ஒரு ஹாஃப்ல இருக்கு. ஸோ இன்னொரு ஏதாவது ஒரு காம்பவுண்ட் வரும். ஸோ ஸ்மாலஸ்ட் ஐசோ குரூப் சொல்றதே வந்து எதெல்லாம் இருக்கும்? ப்ரொப்பைன் மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். ப்ரொப்பைன் ஐசோ பியூட்டேன் மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். கிளியர் எவ்ரிவன்? கிளியர்? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த ஸ்மாலஸ்ட் குரூப். அண்ட் when we are telling about the iso, I will give you some examples. Okay, for example, listen carefully to this. This is basically your iso group, right? This is basically your iso group. You have a hydrogen also. This is your isopropyl, isomethylpropyl, which is actually the smallest iso radical இருக்கும்போது smallest ஆன iso radical தான். Now this is basically your methylpropybutane. This is actually called as the isobutane. Methylpropybutane. My isobutane, your smallest iso compound or and the iso compound whole consider பண்ணும்போது smallest one, this is your isopropyl. Okay, now listen carefully. If I told you like CH3 CH2 CH3, okay, and what is this name, children? Tell me what is the name of this. You can also call, this is also same thing, na? This is and this is same thing. So this is having this particular iso compound, right? So methylpropybutane, right? So this will be your iso pentane. Am I correct? Now tell me what is this, children? CH3 this will be your, see, this is already, as I told you, this is your iso group. Here the name will be isopentyl. Why isopentyl, my dear students? இங்க வந்து ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் வந்து போயிருக்கு. So they have a group connection with some other one. So that is pentyl. So this is isopentane. Now listen carefully, my dear students. Another one more example I will give you. ஒரு இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்குறேன். What do you mean by this? That is new. This is your iso group, and this is iso, which means methylprop but pent hex, right? So iso hexane. Now as I told you, here you can see that second last carbon will be having in the alkane radical. Second last carbon ஒரு methyl group இருந்தனா, in case of alkane radical, இல்ல second carbon ல வந்து ஒரு methane group second carbon ல வந்து alkane or alkanes வருதான ஒரு second carbon இருந்தனா. So எப்படி நம்ம பார்க்கலாமா? So this is actually the alkane group. ஆமா தான பசங்களா? Listen carefully. This is your alkane group. ஆமா தானடா? So இதுல alkane group இருக்கும்போது this is ANE. So this is actually the consideration of this. So அது மாதிரி வரும்போது என்ன சொல்லிருக்காங்க? Second carbon கார்பன்ல வரும்போது they should be having a methyl group. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் நம்ம வந்து 1 2 3 4. So what is the second carbon here? Second carbonல ஒரு methyl group வருது. So அந்த மாதிரி இருக்குறனா என்னதான் இருக்கும்? If in case of alkane second carbonல ஒரு methyl group வருதுனா that is your iso. Are you getting my point, children? That is your iso. See இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்களானா second carbonல தான் வருது. Any radical base பண்ணிட்டு radical na this particular one because they don't the hydrogen is get hydrogen போயிட்டாங்க valency fill ஆகாம இருக்கு அதுதான் radical சொல்றது you know that there is a charge so that is radical so radical வரும்போது for example I have a radical and I have listen carefully now what I am going to do CH3 sir CH3 you have your CH2 CH2 OH okay CH3 CH2 OH so this is basically you can say that ma'am this is very easy ma'am idoda pair enadha irukku already isopentyl irukku so isopentyl alcohol amma danada pasangala isopentyl alcohol will be the name of this particular one right or wrong yes ma'am idoda pair isopentyl alcohol da ipo naam idu count panna porom count பண்ணும்போது இங்க இருந்து count பண்ணுவாங்களா இங்க இருந்து count பண்ணுவாங்களா இங்க இருந்து count பண்ணுவாங்களா இங்க இருந்து count பண்ணுவாங்களா you will be counting it from here 1 2 3 4 now second last carbon alkane oda second last carbon this is the last carbon fourth carbon second last carbon means this is the carbon right so this is the last carbon and they do have a methyl group here so alkane radical varumbodhu second last carbon can be 5 or 6 or something if it is a 6 is a total number of carbon the second last carbon will be 5 in the case of alkane radical oda case la da na idu solra second last carbon so anga vandu or methyl group irundana and the particular compound is considered as a isopentyl radical ஷேப்ல நம்ம எழுதுவோம் இல்ல இனி அந்த ஆல்கைல் குரூப் இல்லாம ஆல்கேன் குரூப் தான் வருதுன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க ஜஸ்ட் ஆல்கேன் குரூப் வருதுனா செகண்ட் கார்பன் நம்ம கவுண்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் செகண்ட் கார்பன் நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணும்போது அங்க ஒரு மீதியல் குரூப் இருக்குற that is also called as the isopentane I mean iso whatever it is that alkane that is okay clear that is actually between the alkanes and alkyl radical this is very important children alkyls and alkyl radical okay alkane radical clear everyone clear so this is all about your iso now same thing only neo வரும்போது இப்படி தான் இருக்கும் நியோல வரும்போது iso வந்து மூணு காம்பவுண்டா ஜாயின் பண்ணுங்க நியோல வந்து என்னதா இருக்கும் மூணு காம்பவுண்டா ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது listen carefully இந்த iso மூணு காம்பவுண்டா ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது you have a one methyl group now நியோல வந்து பாக்கும்போது ரெண்டு I mean நாலு காம்பவுண்டா டோட்டலா இருக்கு ரெண்டு methyl group இருக்கு so you can say that when two methyl group are present in the second last carbon of in the case of the radical and the second carbon in the case of the alkanes ஒண்ணுமே சேஞ்ச் ஆகல second last carbon தான் radical ஓட கேஸ்ல வரும் second carbon தான் இதுல கேஸ் வரும் alkanes ஓட கேஸ்ல வரும் so we do some examples here okay now CH3 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 so you can say that this is your actually your neo group okay this is your neo group right or wrong so we can say this name as neo meth eth prop but so neobutane is the smallest compound we know that okay so neo means it should be having at least if there is a compound in that name they should have 1 2 3 4 5 compounds I mean 5 carbons if it is iso means at least they should have 4 carbons clear everyone clear okay now so if this is the case and I'm giving you another example here CH3 C if this is the case see this is the case means same that's this of this isopropyl just like this also will be iso but isobutyl clear everyone clear now you have another compound for your example another example this is going to be your iso group you have the 4 carbons in the iso groups and now the rest of the carbons will be 1 2 so which means 4 plus 2 means 6 carbons means it will be hex right so it will be isohexane one second 1 2 3 4 children this is your pentane sorry children இங்கே வந்து pentane தான் வரும். Pentane is the smallest one. This is your isohexane. இனி இதிலே வந்து நம்ம வந்து if you are checking about this one. இப்படி இருந்தேனா, so just like listen to this, இப்படி இருந்தேனா method proper butyl pentahex, this will be your isohexyl, this will be your isohexyl. Now isohexyl alcohol nu varumbodhu illa isopentyl alcohol, okay, isopentyl alcohol, isopentyl, okay, isopentyl alcohol சொல்லும்போது எப்படி வரும்? ஓகே, இங்க எழுதுறேன். OH, this will be your method the proper butyl pent. Isopentyl alcohol. So in case of the alkene radical, second last position, so you can see that here 1 2 from the alkenes now this will be having the functional group will be having second last position, 3 is the last position, second last position they do have the 2 methyl groups. So this is all about the alkene radicals, second last position. Now coming to the alkanes means you say this or that one second position, it will be 1 2 3 4, second position you have the 2 methyl group. So this is all about the neo and iso. Iso always remember there will be 3 carbon atom in the iso group, neo there will be 4 carbon atoms, so together they will be 5 carbon atom if it is forming a compound of ANE. If it is not, they can be forming compound of single bond also, I mean just CH3 that 4 bonds also, 4 carbons also. Clear everyone? So this is all about the normal neo and iso and neo. Now you have the nomenclature of this particular, now we are going to the real world. It's actually the nomenclature which is common name will be there and your derived name will be there and the IUPAC name also will be there. Derived name you won't be learning that much. Common name means because common name based on the source of origin, where there malic acid, all those, there's a martiarial, there is malic acid, a lot of these are the which is actually based on their where they originate is actually, okay, that is based on a lot of acids, a lot of compounds, basically acids it's basically, but நிறைய வந்து எங்க நடந்துருக்காங்க, எங்க வந்து origin பண்ணிருக்காங்க, அது பேஸ்டான common name இருக்கு. And based on the functional group, அவங்களோட functional group base பண்ணிட்டும் they have the common name, based on their functional group also. Functional group based பண்ணி they do have the common name. So two types of functional groups are children, terminating functional groups are there and non-terminating functional groups. Listen carefully, terminating are there and non-terminating are there. You know what is the difference between the terminating and the non-terminating? Any idea children? Terminating functional groups are there, you can see this, right? Terminating functional groups are there and non-terminating functional groups are there. What is then my question is, what is the difference between the terminating functional group and non-terminating functional group? Now non-terminating and terminating and non-terminating, children listen carefully. Terminating functional group means, terminating functional groups means with carbon or carbon containing functional group, with carbon, or we can say that carbon containing functional group. You have your CHO, you have your COOH. These are the examples for the terminating functional group which will be having carbon. Non-terminating functional group means no carbon. Non-terminating means no carbon. For example, OH, these are OH or ketones, all these are examples, NH2 amines, all these are examples for the non-terminating functional groups. So you have the functional group prefix and suffix here. I'll give that order here, one second. Before that, let me tell you to the IUPAC nomenclature, then I will come to that, okay? So IUPAC nomenclature சொல்றதே வந்து நம்ம மூணு டிவைட் பண்ணிருக்கோம். ஒன்னு வந்து prefix for example, இப்போ நான் அன்னைக்கு சொன்ன மாதிரி மிஸ் அனகா TH, ஓகே, மிஸ் சொல்றது என்னோட ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸ், என்னோட முன்னாடி வருது. அனகா சொல்றது என்னோட வேர்ட் ரூட், டிஹெச் சொல்றது என்னோட சஃபிக்ஸ். ஆர் யூ கெட்டிங் மை பாயிண்ட்? ஸோ முன்னாடி எழுதுதா ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸ் சொல்றது, ப்ரீயா எழுதுறது ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸ், நடுவில் எழுதுறதா வேர்ட் ரூட்டா சொல்றது. அதுக்கப்புறம் எழுதுறதா சஃபிக்ஸாக சொல்கிறது. ஸோ ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்பே சொல்லும்போது ஒரு நேமிங்கை வந்து 3 பார்ட்டாக நம்ம டிவைட் பண்ணலாம். யூ ஹாவ் யோர் ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸ் விச் இஸ் மிஸ், யூ ஹாவ் யோர் வேர்ட் root which is Anakha, you have your suffix which is th. Are you getting my point, my dear students? So there are 2 types, prefix, word root and suffix. Prefix le வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா you have your secondary prefix இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி primary prefix இருக்கு. You have your secondary prefix and you have your primary prefix also. So secondary prefix சொல்றது, listen carefully, secondary prefix சொல்றது, they are actually considered as substituents. இப்போ மீதைல் ஈதைல் அதே மாதிரி ரெண்டு ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப் வருதுன்னா அதில் வந்து ப்ரைமரி ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்ஸ் வருது. ஸோ தே ஆர் கன்சிடர்ட் as the secondary prefix. For example, you see your alkyl groups are considered as a secondary prefix. Your chloro groups, then nitro groups, all these are considered the category of the secondary prefix. Now primary prefixல எப்போவுமே சைக்ளோ குரூப்ஸ், அது வந்து சைக்ளிக் காம்பவுண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குல்ல, சைக்ளோஹால்கேன், சைக்ளோஹெக்சேன், இதெல்லாம் தான் செகண்டரி பிரைமரி ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸில் வரும். Okay, next one is your word root. You know what is a word root, right? Alkanes groups, right? Meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, sept, oct வரைக்கும் போதும். Okay, that is then non-tech, that's it. So that is actually comes under the category of the word root. Suffix சொல்றதுல வந்து you have the primary suffix, you have the secondary suffix. Primary suffix சொல்றது saturated or unsaturated சொல்றது, இப்போ alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, so இதெல்லாம் தான் primary suffixல வரும். Now secondary suffixல வரும்போது you have your functional groups, all the functional groups. For example, oic acid இருக்கலாம், all the suffixல சஃபிக்ஸில் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்ஸ் வரும். இப்போ 2 ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்ஸ் இருந்தேன்னா ஒன்று வந்து என்னதான் இருக்கும், செகண்டரி ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸாக வந்துடும், ஒன்று வந்து செகண்டரி சஃபிக்ஸாக வந்துடும். செகண்டரி ப்ரிஃபிக்ஸாக வருது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் போர்ஷனில் வருது வந்து they will be having less priority. So that is how the IUPAC nomenclature is done. Are you getting my point, children? So you can count it like this, that is much better. -2, -1, 0, 0 is here, okay, primary word root. Then +1, +2. You can count it like this. So first of all, primary, see you have the secondary, not primary, secondary prefix, primary prefix, word root, primary suffix, secondary suffix. Are you getting my point? First of all, secondary suffix, then primary suffix. First of all, secondary prefix, then primary prefix, then word root, then primary suffix, and secondary suffix. Clear, everyone? Now, I told you about this particular ones, right? For example, you have your COH, carboxylic acid. Whenever the carboxylic acid, this particular C belongs to the functional chain, parent chain. For example, you have this like this, CH3COOH, and you have another example like this. Like this. So whenever this particular one comes to the category of this particular function, parent chain la varumbodhu, there is no prefix because they will be the highest most one, suffix ah irukum. So next prefix ah irukadu, suffix ah da irukum, they are the highest most one. So they will be having the oic acid in that. Whenever they does not belongs to the carbon chain la belong agama avangalukku oru primary position kedaikama irukrena appa avangalukku prefix irukum, appa avangalukku வந்து carboxy ah irukum prefix, suffix irukkalam which is carboxylic acid ah irukkalam. Okay, same thing, SO3H is alphonic acid, sulfur is not belongs to any carbon adu kuda varadu. So adukku vandu oru enna solradhu oru prefix irukkalam, suffix irukkalam, sulfonic acid, but they don't have this types of word. Okay, now here vandu pathina inge vandu pathina you can see that this is anhydride. Anhydride can be in the possession of the carbon chain la varala, in the bracket is denoting that particular anhydride is in the possession of the carbon chain, longest carbon chain kulla varana. Okay, so that is actually there is no prefix because they are most important one. Okay, now suffix varumbodhu oic anhydride, suffix varumbodhu ethanoic anhydride, propanoic anhydride apdi. Okay, now ester varumbodhu ester, see this will be always in the, and one more thing, anhydride is always in the main chain. parent chainல தான் இருக்கும். Okay, parent carbon chainல தான் வரும். Now ester is also comes under the category of, they can be comes under the category of the parent carbon chain, or they can be also, if they are on the parent carbon chain, obviously they won't be having any prefix because they are not considered as a prefix. அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, சஃபிக்ஸா கன்சிடர் பண்ணுவாங்க. alkyl or AT, I will tell you what is this alkyl or AT. alkyl, whatever it is there, that is in or AT. Okay, I'll tell you. Now if they are in the considered as not in the parent chain, so they will be having, they can be in the prefix also, அவங்களுக்கு less importance கொடுக்கலாம். So alkoxy carbonyl, alkyl carboxylate. Now acid aldehyde, if they are in the functional the PCC, that is parent carbon chain, they don't have any prefix, they will be having suffix which is oil halide. Cox, which is not in the carbon chain, they will be having formyl, and they will be having the suffix I carbonyl halide. Now CONH2 amide, they are having, if they are in the functional group, they are not having any prefix, they are only having the suffix. Of functional groups means they are considered in the category of the carbon chain, they don't have any prefix, they do have only suffix which is amide. And CONH2, that is if they same thing which is not in the comes under the category of this particular parent chain, they are actually, they don't have any prefix, they will be having only, I mean they have the prefix carbamyl and carboxamide. Okay, CN cyanide group, if they are on the carbon chain, they don't have any prefix, they will be having suffix which is nitrile. And CN, if they are in the particular, here it is given, see CN, if they are, CN is here, CN if they are in the particular suffix groups, or if they are not in the comes under the category of this particular one, they are called as the cyano. Now carbonitrile, it will be carbonitrile here. Okay, so if they are then NCC, they are isocyanate, they are isocyanate, and they, if they are in the prefix, they are also isocyano, and if they are not in the suffix, is they called as iso nitrate. Now CHO means aldehyde, they, if they are on the particular prefix, prefixல அவங்க இருக்குறேனா oxo இருக்கும், இல்ல suffixல அவங்க importance கூடுதலா இருக்குறேனா AL இருக்கும். important கூடுதலா இருக்குதா suffixல இருக்கும். ரெண்டு functional group வந்து, if you have the carboxylic acid and if you have the alcohol, okay, in between them acid is a more functional, more priority orderல இருக்கும். so acid தான் எது கூட இருக்கும், நம்ம suffix ஆ எழுதுறோம். alcohol தான் நமக்கு என்னதா இருக்கும், secondary prefix ஆ வரும். Are you getting my point, student? Clear? Okay, now you have the ketone. Ketones, when they are, they always in the functional groups only, they will be getting, I mean parent chain only, they will be having keto in the prefix, and suffix la enadha irukum, they will be having ONE. And alcohol vandu ALO, alcohol vandu ALO illa OH, alcohol vandu they in the prefix means hydroxy, if they are in the suffix means, they are in the important means OL, alcohol. Okay, alcohol means if they are in the prefix means percapto, if they are in the suffix means thiol. NH2 amine, in the prefix means amino, in the suffix means amine. Okay, next one is minus. See, these are all actually like R, NH2, NO, halogen groups, NO2, NO, nitro, so all these are comes under the category of the secondary prefix. Secondary prefix la vara compounds da இந்த ரெண்டு second column கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. NH2, amino, nitrito, halo, nitro, nitroso, all this comes under this category. Clear everyone? Clear? NH2 can be in the that can be in this particular secondary suffix also, secondary prefix also, and they can be in the particular primary secondary prefix also, and secondary prefix lu marla, secondary suffix lu marla. Clear? So this is all about this particular one. Now rules for the IUPAC, எதெல்லாம் வெச்சு நம்ம வந்து ரூல்ஸ் நம்ம கன்சிடர் பண்ணிட்டு எப்படி நம்ம வந்து இந்த IUPAC பண்ணணும், IUPAC அந்த ஒரு பர்టిక్యులர் எப்படி அந்த ஒரு selection பண்ணணும், என்னெல்லாம் ஸ்டெப்ஸ் நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும் தான் சொல்ல போறோம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து selection of the PCC. PCC means parent carbon chain. Selection of the parent carbon chain. So selection of the parent carbon chain is done. Listen carefully everyone. See, we have to give more important to the primary functional group, or we have to give important to the functional group. Functional group vara compounds வந்து functional groups அந்த வழியில வரனா, we have to select that as a parent chain. First one, if the functional group is not there, okay, if there is no if the two functional groups are there with the same number or something, or the same functional groups are there, then we have to go for the multiples bond. Multiple bonds can be multiple bond, can be double bond and triple bond. அதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் maximum number of carbon. Always I have seen the scenario, நிறைய students வந்து வந்து இந்த functional group இருந்தாலோ இல்ல multiple bond இருந்தாலோ they will be choosing the maximum number of carbon atom. அது அவங்க choose பண்ணுவாங்க. See, there is an order. First of all, we have to give importance to the functional group. Then we have to, if that is same, that we have to give importance to the multiple bond. If the multiple bond is same or they have the same number, we have to give more importance to the maximum number of carbon atom. Then if the maximum number of the carbon atom is same, then we have to go for the maximum number of substitution, which is like when there is two or more carbon chain have the same number of carbon. For example, if there is any same number of carbon chain irukkrena, we have to go for the substitution. So this is the order. Basically a lot of people will be making this use in this. So first of all, primary function, we have to give importance to functional group. Then we have to give importance to the maximum number of multiple bonds irukkiradha paakano. Adukapra carbon atom adu same irundana carbon atom idhula varudhu paakano. Adum same irundana we have to go for the substitution. Clear everyone? Clear? For example, you have the examples like this. Okay children, you have some examples like this. First of all, find out the parent chain in this particular one. So we pause this video and find out the parent chain. You will be having, see, a lot of people will be choosing this as your parent chain. This as your parent chain. Children, this is wrong. That is not your parent chain. You have to choose the parent chain which the functional groups are there. This is going to be a parent chain. Am I correct? This is going to be a parent chain, right? This is going to be a parent chain. Any idhula vandu pathina, see paarunga, inga vandu pathina double bond irukku, inga vandu CHO irukku. So which one? You have two to three options, children. Ippadi choose pannalam, or else you can choose it like ippadi choose pannalam, correct? Or else you can also choose it like this, correct? Ayyo vera color la vedran, இப்படியும் சூஸ் பண்ணலாம். மூணு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கு. ஆமா தானே? இதுல எல்லா ஆப்ஷனும் நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணும்போது see, first option நம்மளால சூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. We cannot choose the first option because there is no functional group is attached. So first option is wrong, right? First option is, this is wrong, right? So we can choose only this one, or we can choose this one also. Which one will be the correct answer? See, in the both the options, the functional groups are there. If the functional groups are there, we have to choose the multiple bonds, right? Multiple bonds means double bond irukkalam, triple bond irukkalam. See, listen carefully, my dear students. நம்ம choose பண்ண ரெண்டு செயின்லுமே functional groups இருக்கு. Functional group CHO சொல்ற group ரெண்டுலுமே இருக்கு. ரெண்டுலுமே CHO வர group இருந்தா we have to go for the what? Multiple bond பார்க்கணும். இப்பவே வந்து நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்கன்னா, you will be doing the thing like, okay, இப்போ வந்து இதுல தான் functional groups இருக்கு, இதுல maximum number of carbon இருக்கு. இந்த ஒரு விஷயமே skip பண்ணி you will be choosing this as your parent chain, which is wrong. This is not your parent chain, my dear students. Let me tell you one thing. This is going to be a parent chain. இதுதான் உங்களோட parent chain இருக்க போகுது. புரியுதா எல்லாருக்குமே? Clear everyone? This is going to be your parent chain because you have a double bond here. Okay, clear everyone? Clear? This is going to be your parent chain. Now இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, see children, உங்களுக்கு இது choose பண்ண முடியாது. எப்படியோ இது choose பண்ணிட்டேனா இந்த alcohol சொல்ற function, I mean alcohol சொல்ற function groups வந்து வர முடியாது. So this is not going to be your functional group, I mean parent chain. இப்படி choose பண்ணிக்கலாம், correct? இப்படி ஒன்று choose பண்ணிக்கலாம், or else you can choose like this. இப்படியும் choose பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஆனா இது ரெண்டு choose பண்ணுமாலே you will be having a functional group also is there, and you have a double bond also here in the case of blue color. இங்க pink colorல வரும்போது இங்கேயும் functional group இருக்கு, you have the double bond. So what you have to go, if the functional groups are same, if the multiple bond is also present, we have to go for the maximum number of carbon atom. அப்ப மட்டும் தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், maximum number of carbon atom இருக்கிறது நம்ம பார்க்கணும். This is very important children, this is very 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 important. You can, so which one will be your parent chain? இதுதான் மேம். இதுல வந்து இப்படி எடுத்துட்டீங்க நீங்க, அதுல எடுத்துட்டேனா இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா பசங்களா, இதுல வந்து ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்பும் இருக்கு, டபுள் பாண்டும் இருக்கு. ஆனா இந்த சைடுல நான் போகும்போது எனக்கு டபுள் பாண்ட் இல்ல, மல்டிபிள் பாண்ட்ஸ் இல்ல. இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரெண்டு சைடுல நான் பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப்பும் வருது, மல்டிபிள் பாண்ட்ஸும் வருது. ரெண்டுமே சேம் ஆகும்போது I have to go for the number of carbon atom which is having the maximum number of carbon atom. அப்படிதான் நான் வந்து மூணாவது சூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன். கிளியரா எல்லாருக்கும்? கிளியரா? So this is something which is we have, one second. So this is something which we have discussed now. Next question is one. See, this is a question and you have your double bond here, there is no functional group, you have to go for the multiple bonds. So here you can go it like this, first one, then you can go it like this, second one, this is another one, and third one. This is going to a third one. So when you see the blue, green and yellow, orange, I mean blue, green and your red, you can see that in the blue, In the blue, you have double bond and triple bond. In the pink, you have your double bond and your double bond again. In the green, you have your double bond and triple bond. This is the order. Now, so எல்லாத்துலயுமே multiple bond same இருக்கு. அப்ப நம்ம என்ன பார்க்கணும்? We have to go for the number of carbon atoms. Am I right? Number of carbon atoms வரும்போது, see in the blue, how many in the green? First of all, like, check into the green. Green, you have greenல எவ்வளவு carbon atom இருக்கு? 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon atom. Okay. In the pink, you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 6 7 carbon atom. Okay. Blue, you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 3 6 7 8 8 carbon atoms. So which one will be the carbon chain here, my dear students? Tell me which one will be a carbon chain. It will be the blue wala one. Why blue wala one? See, we have checked all the particular one. We have got to know that there are double bonds. Double bonds are there. So double bonds, 2 double bonds were there, right? 2 double bonds were there. In the 2 double bonds, see, there are multiple bonds. I'm not telling about the double bonds also. Multiple bonds are there. Multiple bonds are there. Triple bond or double bond or whatever it is. It was double bond, triple bond, double bond, double bond, double bond, triple bond, whatever it is. Multiple bonds was present and they were same also. Number of the multiple bond was same. Now then we have to go for the functional group, number of multiple bonds. Then we have to go for the number of carbon atom. Number of carbon atom, this one will be the highest number of carbon atom, which is blue. So this one will be a functional group. Clear everyone? Clear? Now next one, my dear students, here there is this can be a first functional group. Here in the blue you can see that 2 double bond. Then next one, my dear students, here this is also a blue pink one. Pink one also you can see that double bond and your triple bond, right? Next one is your green one. Okay, green. Green one is your double bond and your triple bond again, right? So this we can see that number of, now there is also same number of multiple bonds only. In game வந்து நமக்கு என்னதா இருக்கு? Same number of multiple bonds தான் இருக்கு. So blue ல எவ்வளவு carbon atom இருக்குன்னு பாருங்க. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 carbon atom, my dear students. 3 6 7 8. ஆமா, blueல. greenல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா you have your green here. greenல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 3 6 7 8 8 again. Now pinkல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You have the 7. So here when you see that 8 இருக்கு 7 இருக்கு, அப்பவே வந்து பிங்க் நம்மளால யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. நமக்கு வந்து இதுதான் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும். இதுல ஏதாவது யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும். Either we have to go for the blue or else you have to go for the green. So blue and green பார்த்தனா ரெண்டுமே சேமா இருக்கு, மல்டிபிள் பாண்ட்ஸ் பிரசன்ட்டா இருக்கு. So if that is the case, see both of the number of atoms is there, multiple bonds are present. If the multiple bond are present is equal to same, they do have the two multiple bonds. I'm not telling about the double bond or triple bond. ரெண்டு multiple bond இருக்கு, அவ்வளவுதான் நான் சொல்லிருக்கேன். Okay, and the multiple bondல you have to choose the particular carbon chain which is two double bond. Double bond consideration பண்ணுவோம். So இந்த blueவிலே வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா between the blue and green you can say that double bond and triple bond is a, in the blue they do have the two double bonds. So we have to choose the blue. Are you getting my point, children? We have to choose not this one. We will be choosing this one as the parent chain. இப்படிதான் parent chain எடுப்போம். நம்ம வந்து இப்படி எடுக்க மாட்டோம். We won't be choosing this one because அவங்களுக்குள்ள கார்பன் ஆட்டம் சேமா இருந்தது, மல்டிபிள் பாண்டோட நம்பர் சேமா இருந்தது. ஆனா மல்டிபிள் பாண்டோட நம்பர் சேம் ஆகி கார்பன் ஆட்டம் சேம் ஆகி அதே மாதிரி இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனல் குரூப் எல்லாமே சேம் ஆகி வரும்போது மல்டிபிள் பாண்ட்ல we have to choose for the double bond first. Clear everyone? Clear. So this will be your the parent chain. Now number of the functional group, numbering எப்படி பண்ணுவோம்னா always remember we have to give importance to the functional group, then we have to give importance to the multiple bond, then we have to give importance to the substituents. always நம்ம வந்து யாருக்கு first important கொடுக்கணும், நம்ம functional groupக்கு important கொடுக்கணும், அதுக்கு அப்புறம் multiple bondக்கு important கொடுக்கணும், அதுக்கு அப்புறம் substituentக்கு importance கொடுக்கணும் guys. Now so what we can number here, we can say that it is 1 2 3 4 functional group, right? Here functional group the importance kodukano 1 2 3 4 5. This is going to be a numbering, right? Now 1 2 3 functional group illa, so we have to choose the double bond, right? Now இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா next one is like we can number it from here 1 2 3 4 right. இங்க வந்து நம்பர் பண்ணும்போது நான் கரெக்டாவே நம்பர் பண்ணி போறேன். இங்க வந்து பாக்கும்போது 1 2 3 4, so we can say that the LHS, right, left to right, LHS is going to be your LHS is there, your RHS is also there, right. RHS is there, LHS is there, RHS is there. Listen carefully children. LHS la vandu pathina the substituents are the substituent at the side of at the 3 la vandiruchu substituent. RHS la vandu pathina substituent is in the 2. So which one will be the correct answer? Which one will be the correct answer? You have to choose the RHS. You have to choose the RHS because substituent is the least numbering edukra madiri irukum. Now here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1 2 3 4 5 you have your LHS and you have the multiple bond is also present. Multiple bond present ஆ இருக்கு and you have the this also functional group also, right. So we have to give importance to functional group first. One second. LHS is present, functional group, multiple bond. Now RHS means 1 2 3 4 5, right. So RHS, the functional group is on the third position, multiple bond is on the first position. LHS la vandu pathina functional group is on the again in the third position, multiple bond is on the fourth position, right. So which one we will be giving importance? Which one we will be giving importance? You will be thinking that we have to give importance to the, we have to add it and we have to give importance to the one which will be having the least one, right. We will be we will be giving the least one. That is also correct only. Here nama pathina functional group vechittu inga vandu pathina rendukume functional group 3 3 la irukku. So we cannot choose that which one is the correct one on basis of the functional group. So we have to go for the multiple bond. Am I right? So multiple bond pathina 4 1 irukku. Which one will be the lesser one will be having the correct order. So 3 1 will be the correct order, which means we can say that LH, right, RHS will be the correct order for naming it. Are you getting my point, children? Clear everyone? Clear? Now again you have your RHS 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so I'm writing RHS here. Okay, in basis of that you have your functional group, you have the multiple bond also. Okay, now functional groups which is in the position 4th position, multiple bond is on the first position and your 7 is there, so 6th position. Clear. Now your LHS is there. No, this is left to right. This is your LHS, children. Sorry. This is your LHS. Okay. Now RHS is there, which is from this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. RHS is there. Where is the functional groups, my dear students? 4th one is the functional group and you have the first one and you have the 6th one. In which time you can use this, and you have CL also, my dear students. I'm sorry, I forget about the CL also. CL, which is substituent. Substituent also is the substituent in the RHS LHS side. If you are going from here, the substituent is on the 3rd position. If you are going from here to here, the substituent is on the 5th position. So from the particular one, listen carefully children, நமக்கு வந்து functional group வச்சு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது, ரெண்டுமே சேமா இருக்கு. Multiple bond வச்சு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது, ரெண்டுமே சேமா இருக்கு. So we have to go for the substituent. Substituent 3 5 இருக்கு. So 3 will be the correct answer, which means this will be your order. This is going to be your order. Are you getting my point, children? This is going to be your order. This is your order. This is how you find out. Okay, now next one is, if more than one substituent are present, then the least lock-in number rule is followed. More than one substituent. Okay, if you have the more than one substituent, you have to follow the rule which is least lock-in rule. So I'll tell you what is this least lock-in rule and I will give you another example also, then it will be much more better for you guys. Or else this is enough. We will do questions now. That time I'll give you. That is much better. Okay, now your LHS is there 1 2 3 4 5 6. LHS, you have your substituent. More than one substituent is there now. So then you have your RHS 1 2 3 4 5 6. RHS is there. How many are there in the size of RHS? BR is in the 2nd position. 4 5. Okay, according to the LHS, it is 2 3 5. So you can see that which one will be the correct answer. From this we cannot find out. From this also this is the one which is varied. This will be the correct one, least lock-in one, which means LHS will be the correct answer. LHS will be your correct answer or correct numbering. Okay, next one. If two or more substituents are present at the same position from either side, then alphabetically preferred substituents will get the least log number. So then you have the chlorine and bromine. They are on the same position on the both the side. So you have to choose the one which is like bromine only, which is alphabetically more one. I'll tell you. 1 second. This is your LHS. Correct than a left to. From the left side of the board to right side, okay? From the left side of the board to the right side. When I'm standing like this, I'm telling you, when I'm standing like this is the left side of the board to the right side. Left to right in the board. RHS will be, you have again at the 2 and 3 position. Same position. So, choose the one which is alphabetically less. Chlorine and bromine, BC. Chlorine is C, bromine is B. B kammiya varudengenu parunga. Bromine oda value. See, chlorine and bromine is alphabetically more. Adhikku vande kammiya irukkudu. So, inga irundha LHS la irundhu paakumbodhu chlorine is in the second position, bromine is in the third position. And RHS la paakumbodhu bromine is the second position, chlorine is the third position. Which means second position la da bromine varudhu. So, we have to give importance to the one which is RHS. Are you getting my point, children? Are you getting my point? So, this is how we name it, the particular one. Okay, next one, methyl and ethyl. Okay, you have your LHS and substituent. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So, methyl is on the third position and ethyl is on the fifth position. Now, you have your RHS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, RHS in this we can say that methyl is on the fifth position and better. Ethyl is on the third position and the methyl is on the fifth position, which means methyl M and E means you have to choose the one which is less in alphabetic, right? Alphabetically priority varudhu choose pannu. E da adhyam varudhu, right? Ethyl oda E. So, ethyl kammi position la varudhu 5 la third la, which means இந்த மாதிரி போகும்போது வருது, which means RHS the correct answer. So, which one will be the correct one, children? RHS. RHS is the correct one. RHS is the correct order of naming it. Clear everyone? Because inga vandu pathina inga da 3 varudhu. Ayyo. 3 is coming here, right? So, but inga vandu paakumbodhu 5 da varudhu. So, ethylக்கு வந்து 3 கிடைக்கிற மாதிரி நம்ம பார்க்கணும். Okay, next one, if multiple bond and triple bond are present at the same position from either side, then double bond will get the least log number. Multiple bond, triple bond இதே மாதிரி வருதுன்னா, same positionல வருதுன்னா, we have to give importance to the double bond. Clear? For example, we are giving, see here, check to this. 1, 2, 3, 4 here in the LHS. Multiple bond, you have 2, 1 and 3. In the RHS, you have it on RHS 1, 2, 3, 4. Both are in the same position only, right? But multiple bond is in the single position means this will be the correct answer, right? This will be the, not this one. This one will be the correct answer. So, you have to choose the one which is having multiple bond lesser number. So, which one will be the correct answer, children? Your LHS will be the correct answer. Left to right will be the order. Clear? Same thing here also. This one will be the correct answer. Here when it is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is going 1. So, which one will be having correct answer? This one will be, here it will be the correct answer. Clear? That is how we have to find out. Now, you have some questions here, children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay. You have few questions here. So, these are the questions which is available here. Please do try to do the questions, children. Please do try to do these questions. First question. So, this is actually single question. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be your order, right? It can be when it is come to this means there is no functional groups, no multiple bond, only substituent. Substituent is a methyl substituent. So we have to give less important. I mean, they have to get the less number, right? When here like doing like this, it is 2. When it is coming like this, it's 3. So we have to give important to the 2 only, right? So we have to write the, first of all, we have to go for the secondary prefix. Secondary prefix, secondary prefix, secondary prefix. Note down that secondary prefix. Okay, ma'am. Secondary prefix la வந்து alkyl group வரும், இல்லைனா chloro, fluoro, அது இல்லைனா nitro, nitrous அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறதா வரும். Secondary prefixல வந்து யார் இருக்கும்? alkyl group வரும் சொல்லிருக்காங்க. So methyl வந்து வரும். alkyl groupல methyl வரும் மேம். methyl எந்த பொசிஷன்ல இருக்கு மேம்? செகண்ட் பொசிஷன்ல இருக்கு மேம். And how many number of carbon atoms, which is a word root. Primary prefix ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, because cyclo groups ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல. So that is not the comes under the category of this. Now word group மெத்த எத்த proper butane. Butane. Bute வந்தது word root, ane வந்தது. That is the primary suffix. Are you getting my point? Primary suffix is the ane. Clear everyone? Clear. Now next questions. Next question is, this is chlorobromo, is it? So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now this is your, one second. This is your LHS. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your RHS. RHS ல வந்து substitutions வந்து RHS ல வந்து 2, 3 வந்துருச்சு. LHS ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is 3, 4 வந்துருச்சு. So what will be, we will be using 3, 4 or 2, 3. We have to use the RHS only, right? We have to choose the RHS only. Am I right, my dear students? Correct? அதாவது தப்பு பண்ணிட்டாங்களா? 3, 4, 3. We have to choose the RHS only. So which one will be the correct answer, children? This one will be the correct answer. One second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to name it as 2 bromo, 3 chloro, method the proper butane, pentane. 2 bromo, 3 chloro, pentane. Please do pause the video and do the next 2 also. Okay. And I will give you a few more questions here after this. Next one is, okay, this is more than enough now. Next one second here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. LHS. Second position, third position, fourth position. Now RHS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. RHS la வந்து second position, third position, fourth position. Same. எல்லாமே சேமா இருக்கு. Now we have the nitro N, we have the chloro Cl, C, we have the bromo B. B க்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுக்கிறது, B ல கம்மி நம்பர் இது வருது. See, B ல வந்து இப்படி போயிட்டேன்னா fourth positionல வருது, ஆனா இப்படி போயிட்டேன்னா second positionல வருது. So which one will be your this RHS will be your correct order, right? So the order will be your RHS because எல்லாமே சேமா இருக்கு. So நம்ம வந்து substituentல எது கம்மியா நம்பர், எது வந்து alphabetical orderல கம்மி நம்பர் வருதோ அதுக்கு வந்து கம்மி அந்த alphabetic orderல வரதுக்கு கம்மி நம்பர் வரணும். So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the order. Now the name of this particular one will be, you can say that 2 bromo, 4 chloro, 3 so children, this will be like 2 chloro, 4 chloro, 2 bromo, 4 chloro, 3 nitro pentane. Okay. Now here CH3Br, your CH2 CH3. So which one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? This will be your number of carbon chain. No children, here the number of carbon chain will be, the numbering of the carbon chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be your numbering of carbon chain, because when we are telling about this, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One second. 1, 2, 3 4 5 6. Here also 1 2 3 4 5 6. இப்படி தான் நம்பரிங் கார்பன் 5 6 1 second 5 6 7. இப்படி தான் கார்பன் நம்பர் ஆஃப் கார்பன் செயின் இருக்கும். நம்ம இந்த சைடு வரும்போது 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this will be your correct order because 1 2 3 4 will be coming here, 5 6 will be coming. So this will be your correct order. Now the name of this particular one will be 4 bromo 2 chloro hexaptane. 4 bromo 2 chloroheptane. Let me see whether there is any other examples are there. More examples are there. Okay. Okay. Next one is, children, just a second. 4 bromo, one second. Here there is a difference. Children, there is a methyl group here, CH3. Here also methyl group now. So you will be having 4 bromo 2 5 dimethyl heptane. 2 5 dimethyl heptane, because you have the methyl groups in the second position and on the fifth position also. You have the methyl group in the second position and on the fifth position also. Clear everyone? Now next question is CH double bond. These are asked in the actually these are asked in the particular exam, NEET exam. Okay. So first one we will be giving 1 2 3 3. This is 3 only. There is some difference in this question. One second, children. Here it is C. It will be 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 will be here. There will be 4. Okay, na? Pasangla 4 will be there. So this will be methyl butane. But 1 ENE 3 YNE. This will be their number. We cannot choose it from this because they have to, if double bond and triple bond are the same position, we have to give importance for the double bond which is having the least knock-on number. Now, next question, this one. So here 1, 2, it was in the position 2 and 4 here. While coming to here, there will be the double bond only, na? One second, I will check the question only. எனக்கு வந்து இங்க தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது, ஒரு மாதிரி ரிஃப்ளெக்ஸ் ஆகுது. No, this is which is that question? உங்களுக்கு தெரியுதா அதுல டபுள் பாண்ட் தான் கேக்குறாங்க. ஒரே நிமிஷம், டபுள் பாண்ட் ஆர்க்கறதுக்கு சான்ஸ் இல்ல. 6 ட்ரிபிள் பாண்ட் தான் இது. Sorry children, this is triple bond. Okay, so இங்க இருந்து பாக்கும்போது if you are coming from here, we will be having first position on this and first positionல இருக்கும். இங்க இருந்து வரும்போது this will be on the 1 2 3 4 fourth positionல இருக்கும். So when this in the first and second and fourth and first and the fourth, so which one will be we have to choose which one? We have to choose this particular one, right? Second and fifth position. This will be the second and fifth position. Second and fifth position, first and fourth position. You have to do the pink color. Pink color we have to choose it because the less number of number will be there, now. That we have to choose. So it will be 1 2 3 5 6 4 5 6. So this will be like, while we are numbering, we can say that hex will be there. Hex 4 in we have to cut this 1 YNE. Fix 4 in EN. Fix 4 in 1 YNE. We have to cut it like this. Fix 4 in 1 YNE. Clear everyone? ENE. You have to X4 ENE. You have to write it this. Write it much more clearly, children. X4 ENE 1 YNE. Now next question. This is asked in the NEET also, one of the NEET exam, children. Listen carefully. This is a very important question also. Listen to this question. Okay, so you have to choose, children. You have to choose. See, first of all, functional group is not there. When there is no functional group, you have to choose the parent chain as the double bond, right? 1 2 3 4. This can be a double bond, right? 1 2 3 4 can be a double bond, or else you have another opportunity like 1 2 3 4. 3, 4. While we are checking the particular pink color, that is, I mean, blue color இருக்கும்போது second positionல ஈதல் வருது, அதே மாதிரி third positionல மீதல் வருது. நம்ம வந்து pink color எடுக்கும்போதும் second positionல மீதல் வருது, third positionல ஈதல் வருது. ஸோ M and E சொல்லும்போது ஈக்கு தான் கம்மியாக இருக்கணும், ஆமாம் தானே? ஸோ ஈக்கு வந்து சின்ன நம்பர் வர மாதிரி பார்க்கணும், which means blue color will be the priority 1. blue color priority 1 ன்னு சொன்னேன்னா எப்படி நம்ம பேர் எழுதணும் பசங்களா சொல்லுங்க? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be like, you can write it as 2 ethyl. Yes, 2 ethyl, 4. This is in the position of 3. Correct. Question is correct only, no? Just a second, children. Yes. 2 ethyl. Third position methyl will be there. Then methyl bute 1 3 di-ene. So you will be having 2 ethyl. Okay. Then 3 methyl. Then you have methyl bute 1 3 di-ene. Clear, everyone? Clear, this will be the correct answer. Now here, check it to here. So you have to choose this answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. When we are choosing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 3, 6, 7. இப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது 3, 4, 5, 6. ஸோ நமக்கு வந்து 3 இதில் வருது. everything will be having double bond and triple bond. So this won't be the correct answer. Those who have the double bond and triple bond, which is more number of carbon atom. So 3, 6, 7. Here 3, 6. அப்படி தானே இருக்கு. 6, 3, 6, 7. 3, 6. So this will be your double bond. This is going to be a parent chain. Now you have to, this is going to be a parent chain, right? That will be a parent chain. Now you have to find out whether it will be having the, which one will be considering this particular double bond and triple bond. You have to consider which one will be having the double bond and triple bond. So while writing from this, you will be having 2, the 2 and the position of 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th position. Now while writing from here, it will be on the first position and 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th position. So which one will be the correct answer? 1 and 5 will be the correct answer. Am I correct? 1 and 5 will be the correct answer. So when we are checking that, we can say that for ethyl ethanol, see if it is C double bond H nom ethyl. If it was C2H5, it was ethyl. If it was a double bond, it was ethanol. So we can say that at the 4th position, 2, I will write it in the different color. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will be like 2 ethanol. No, not 2 ethanol, children. 4 ethanol. 4 ethanol. This will be 7 carbon. So hept will be in the position of the hept, there you will be having 5th position Ene is there, and you have the first position Yne. 4 ethanol hept 5 Ene bar Yne. Clear, everyone? Clear? Now you have the name of this compounds like prefix and suffix. Some compounds are there. You have the NH2, which is the amino and amine prefix and suffix. What is the particular name of the compounds? We have to find out the name of this compound which is given. Okay, so you have the double ring is there, and NH2 is there, and Br is also there. So we have to give importance. See, there will be like, you can write it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like here also. But since it is a double bond is there, you have to write it like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be the correct answer, right? What will be the name of this compound, children? It will be 4-bromo. You will be having 4-bromo. Then also you will be having 3-nitro. 3-nitro, 4-bromo. Correct? 4-bromo. One second. 3-nitro won't be there, no? It's not NH2. I mean, it will be 4-bromo, and it will also the suffix, right? So 4-bromo, it will be pent 1-ene, correct? Pent 1-ene. Third position you have the amine, 3-amine, and ene has to be cut off. Okay, 3-amine will be there. Now, next one is hydroxy. We know that OH is there. See, you have the 2 OH here, right? In the hydroxy, you can see that there is 2 OH. Correct, student? ET, there is 2 OH, right? This is the correct answer now. Just a second, children. Yes, you have the this particular one, right? RHS is there, LHS is there. When you calculate it from this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the one, right? So you can write it as 3-ethyl, 4-methyl. You can write it as 3-ethyl, 4-methyl. You have total 6 carbon. So hexane 2,5-diol. 2,5-diol will be the correct answer. Now, CN groups means it is comes under the category of the which one CN. See, there is a methyl group is there. Here there is a double bond and there is a CN also. So, which one will be the correct answer here, children? CN groups. A cyanide group. So, you can say that this is going to be a parent chain, right? Parent chain is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be a parent chain, right? It will be, this is going to be a parent chain. So rest of the all others will be considered the category of the other one, right? So we can write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, this one. So sorry, this is the parent chain collection, but you have to write it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will be writing 3-methyl will be there. Amadana, adukapra enna varum 3-methyl, 3-methyl will be there, and you will be having methylprop, right? 2-propyl, correct? Methylpropyl, 2-propyl, and you have methylpropyl, right? But 3-ene, but 3-ene, ene and the ene bar first position, what is the nitrile, right? First nitrile. It is in the suffix and it is considered as in the carbon chain. Okay. Next one is keto group. Keto group. You have your keto groups. Keto groups la edha compound ah koduthirukanga. Keto group nama enna pannom? We have to consider it, right? Now, listen carefully. While it is in the keto group, CO group, you will be counting it as they have to. One second. They have to give preference, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Amadana pasangala 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, நமக்கு தெரியும் methyl இருக்கு, ethyl இருக்குன்னு. So, we have to give importance to the 5. See, listen carefully. 5 methyl இருக்கு, ethyl இருக்கு. So, 4 இருக்கு, 5 இருக்கு. So, it will be 4 ethyl first. Then 5 methyl. Am I correct? Then you have hex, right? You have in the second position 2-ONE. Next one is carbonyl group CH. This is actually the carbonyl group CONH2. This is your carbonyl group. Okay, so they also comes in the category of this particular one, carbonyl group. So how will you write it, children? Please do just எப்படி சொல்றது, நீங்க வந்து வீடியோ பாஸ் பண்ணி ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க. So you can write it as in the form 1 will be there. Okay, this will be a 1. And this will be a 2. You have a CH2 here, which means 3 double bond is there. Okay, so this is going to be your parent chain. So you can say that you can say that it is in the second position. You have a ethyl group, right? You can say that not methylprop, butyl, 2-butyl. Okay, together there is methylprop. You can say that 2-butyl prop, 2-ene will be there. Amide will be enamide. Amide will be there. Now, same things here also. COO. Listen carefully. Here, alkoxy is the. See, this is the group. See, listen carefully. Alkoxy alkate, right? Alkoxy alkate means, how will you write it, children? Alkoxy alkate means, listen carefully. We will be writing in such a way that this is CH2. This is also CH3. Okay, so we can write it here. There is a carbon is there. So write this particular one first. So this will be like ethyl. See, ethyl, I'm alkyl instead of alkyl. I'm writing it ethyl beside this group. Okay, then you can write it like this. So there is only one carbon here. There is only one carbon here. If there is another one carbon means ethyl ethanoid, we can say that. But here inga vandu appadi illa. Inga vandu ore oru carbon da irukku. So ethyl, it will be ethyl. It's not methanoid. It's methanoid. Ethyl methanate. If it is, see here there is alkyl was there. Now here evlo irukku adukku etha madri. Okay, so instead of that here ethyl da irundhathu, there is only one carbon. Since there is only one carbon, I hope this is clear, children. Clear? Now, IUPAC naming of the functional group which is more than one compound. So there is NH2 and OH is there, children. One second. Okay, so I hope this is clear, everyone. So this is all about this particular IUPAC naming. I know that லைக் a lot of things are there to see. நமக்கு வந்து நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் பண்ணணும், அப்போ தான் இதில் வந்து இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஆனது எது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இல்லாத இருந்த எல்லாமே தெரியும். ஸோ நம்ம வந்து இதோட மேரத்தான் வச்சுருக்கோம், மேரத்தான் இருந்திருக்கு. ஸோ அந்த பர்டிகுலர் செஷன் யூ ஹாவ் டு வாட்ச் தட் பர்டிகுலர் செஷன், then only you will be getting an idea about it. Clear everyone? So I hope this session was useful, and please do watch this as a one session, one shot for the one shot, and please do watch the particular marathon for the entire session. Okay, so இதே மாதிரி இன்னொரு one shot கூட வர. ஸோ இந்த வீடியோ பிடிச்சிருந்தனா லைக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. அதே மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற எக்கச்சக்கமான கண்டென்ட் ரிலேட்டடான வீடியோஸுக்காக இந்த வீடியோ லைக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, உடனே வந்து கமெண்ட்டும் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Okay, bye bye.